Hi, this is Allison Carr, and I'm going to walk you through finding scholarly articles using the Sociological Abstracts database. So here we are on the library homepage, and we're going to choose databases by subject to get to the database. So here is our link to Sociological Abstracts, and here is the database. So today's search is going to be about the household division of labor between the genders. I like the extra boxes you get with an advanced search because it allows me to organize my topic. So you can see my first idea, household labor, is here, and my second idea, gender, is in the second line. I don't like using the peer-reviewed button here because the databases don't always have the same definition of peer-reviewed that we do. However, since we know that peer-reviewed articles are published in scholarly journals, we can come down here to source type and limit to scholarly journals. So once we have that checked, let's come over here and search. And you can see here we have almost 1,800 articles with these words in it. The database highlights your terms where they appear. This is ranked by relevance, which means that the more often your words or phrases appear, the higher the article is going to be in the list. So there are a couple things you can see on this page. Over here, you see your source type. So 1,799 are scholarly journals. You can limit by a specific date range. I know some professors like you to look at the most recent 5 years. So if we wanted to do that, we could just move this slider all the way over here. Another thing I like about this database is this preview button. It gives you a snippet of what you'll find on the item page, which we're going to look at next. And you can see again that your terms are highlighted here. You also get some of the subjects that are listed with that article. So this can help you get through reading the abstracts more quickly than clicking back and forth looking at these articles. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of these articles. We're going to pick this first one here, Gender, Household Labor, and Scholarly Productivity Among University Professors. And you get a lot of the same information plus more on this page. So a reminder, this is where you're also going to find all of your citation information. This here is your article title. You have your authors here, your journal or source is sometimes it's listed. There's your journal title there, volume and issue, date, and page numbers. Be sure to write all of this down because you're going to need it to write your citations later. And it's so frustrating when you've used the article in your paper and you can't remember any of the citation information. So we have, again, our abstract with your terms and phrases highlighted. One of the things that I really like about this database are the subjects. It can be really helpful to learn the vocabulary of your topic. So in this case, we have sexual division of labor is the phrase that's used to describe exactly what we're talking about. So what we can do too is come over here, combine the subjects that are here into a new search. So if we want to do sexual division of labor and housework, by clicking this search box, it will give us a whole new list of results that are more closely related to the sexual division of labor and housework. A few other things you might want to take a look at in this database on this page is the author information. This is really important. I know a lot of professors ask you to find sociological articles. Just using this database won't ensure that it's sociological. We have a lot of interdisciplinary journals in here as well. But when you look at the author information in the database or in the article, I'll show you that next, you want to make sure that your authors are sociologists, and most times they will be within the Department of Sociology. There are other ways to tell if you have any questions or if you can't find that information. You can certainly get in touch with me and we'll figure it out together. So if you decide that this is the article that you want, sometimes in this database, you will get a copy of the PDF full text. In this particular case, this journal, remember this journal name is Gender Issues, we're going to use the Get It button to search all of our other databases that we have access to find the full text of this article. So let's see if Get It will find the article for us. So in this case, we have lots of different ways to access this journal article. The first thing we need to double check is the date that this article was published. So this is from 2001, so it's old enough but not too old. So EBSCOhost available from 1998. Oh no, but look, the most recent year is not available. So anything between now and the past year, it's not a calendar year, it's a full 12 months, won't be available. And you can see that this is the case with most of our access, except for this one here. So if this article was published in 2014, we might not have access in these other databases, but we would at this Springer link. So let's go ahead and click on this Springer link because it started in 1997, so we'll know that they have 2001. And this is actually the link to the journal itself, not another database. So here again, we've got all of our citation information, which again, please, please, please write down. There's all our citation information. You've got access to the PDF, and my choice is always to get the PDF as opposed to looking at an HTML page, because if there are any charts and graphs or images, they'll come through perfectly as the authors intended, not just in some weird web page way. So here's the full text of our article. Again, if we need to make sure that this is written by a sociologist, here is the author information on the article itself, so you can see she is in the Department of Sociology. But you can save this, you can print it out, you can do whatever you need. You read it on your screen, which I don't necessarily recommend, but it's certainly a way to save paper. There's one more thing in this database that I think is really useful, especially when you're thinking about organizing. If you have to collect a lot of articles, you can save the articles to a folder and email them to yourself. So remember, this database is only going to send you the full text of the article if the full text is available. When the full text is not available, it will link you back to this database, and then you can use Get It to get back to that full text of the article. Here's another full text. So these should be emailed to you if they're available. But once we've checked the boxes, this has put them in our folder. So we come up here to our folder, you can see selected items 3. And once you've selected them, you have a few options. You can cite them. If you are going to use this option, please review and revise the citations. They are not always going to be perfect. I know one of the things that's a little funny about the way they do APA citations is that they include the retrieval information, which we don't need anymore. So you can just delete all of that out before you turn it in. They also do have ASA. I know sometimes professors require you to use ASA instead of APA, but you can also email it to yourself too. And then you'll have it all, at the very least, the citation information for all of the articles that you're using. If you have any questions or need any help at any point of your sociological research, please get in touch with me. You can find all of my contact information on the Sociological Research Guide. Thanks.